Hey everyone, and welcome to the CLUBSHEIS Define Your Brand webinar. Now, this is an amazing webinar which will take you through 3 secrets to defining a unique and valuable personal brand. Now, if you are watching this means that you missed the live webinar, but no worries. You have now been given access to the replay. So this is a recorded version, and you'll be able to still get all the value that you would be able to get from the live session. The only difference is you won't be able to have a live Q&A session with me right now on this webinar. However, you can get a hold of me at kopano@clubsheis.com, or you can leave your comments or any of your questions right here on the members site. So we're going to go through this whole presentation, which will give you 3 secrets to defining a unique and valuable personal brand. By the end of this presentation, you should be able to go out there and start defining a personal brand that will start working for you, a personal brand that has value, and a personal brand that will give you opportunities to earning the income that you want to earn. So we're going to go through the whole thing, and right at the end, you can ask all the questions that you need. Remember, you can always get a hold of me. Let's get into it. All right, so this masterclass is all about how to define a personal brand that is unique and valuable, and one that can earn income. It's a huge one for a lot of us, something that's very important for us to do. We want to be able to build our personal brand, to get promotions, to get new job opportunities, to build our businesses. So we all have our different reasons. But before we get into this, I need you to make a commitment. I want you to commit that once we start this presentation, which is right now, I need you to have an open heart and an open mind, and I want you to commit to following the steps that are in this mastermind. Don't just listen and be one of those people who goes away and does nothing. I want you to take action and do something about this, because once upon a time, I was a person who knew a lot of things and took no action, but my life changed when I started to take my knowledge and turn it into action. Now, my mission as the founder of CLUBSHEIS is to serve 1 million women to reach their potential and earn income while doing what they love. Happiness is a huge thing to me, and I know that we can earn income while doing the things that we love, and that's why we have the workshops, the webinars, the masterclasses, the boot camps. We have so many resources out there for women to start taking action and have the knowledge that they need to do what they need to do to build their businesses, to build their brands, to get their promotions, to build more confidence, to just become the woman that they want to become. So my promise to you is that today I'll show you how defining your unique and valuable personal brand can convert into an opportunity to earn income while doing what you love. Doesn't that sound absolutely amazing? In fact, I'll show you 2 to 3 different income streams just from defining your brand. And I'll show you that you can do the same in any industry or position that you are in. Now, having a defined personal brand is essential in many scenarios. If you want to build a business, grow an existing business, be seen as an expert in your field, differentiate yourself from the competition, position yourself as a thought leader, grow recognition in your field, market, or in your job, gain trust and credibility for the work that you do, and to grow your influence. Now, growing your personal brand is not just for people who are hair bloggers or information or beauty bloggers or bloggers in general or influencers. You don't have to be into fashion, beauty, or hair to do this. You could be a professional. There are many women that I know with their MBAs, lawyers, finance ladies, people who are investments, who've built their personal brands and have used that to leverage to get better positions, to get higher paying jobs in order to build their own businesses, to build firms. There are many women who are professionals flexing their personal brands in order to get ahead, to earn more income, to be recognized, and most importantly, to be thought leaders and experts in their fields. Now, here's a test for you. You know you're in the right place if you need to establish your position in your industry or your niche. So whatever industry you're in, whether it's in investments, agriculture, finance, beauty, any industry you're in, if you feel the need to establish your position as a thought leader or as an expert in your industry or niche, then you're in the right place. Or if you have the desired, a desired target market and you want them to recognize you in the work that you do. Now, you could be in any industry, you could be working a full 9 to 5, and you think or believe that you deserve recognition for the work that you do, then you're definitely in the right place, because then you'll be able to use the things that we are saying here today to define your brand and be able to communicate it to the right people and establish yourself as a credible person and as a person that your target audience, whether it's your bosses, whether it's your clients, or whether it's people in your industry, to see you and recognize the work that you do. Now, defining your personal brand is not complicated, and today you'll learn how you can build your brand without taking years to figure it out. That's what I did. I took years to figure out how this actually works. You won't have to struggle to grow the right following. Now, so many people have lots of following. This is not just Instagram. I'm talking about your LinkedIn or people who know them, their circle of friends face to face. They're just the wrong type of people to give them the opportunities that they need. So through this, you'll be able to grow the right network for yourself. You can build your personal brand without having to spend money to get recognized. Now, people spend money to get on radio, on TV, on websites, and on interviews. When you define your personal brand and you have a compelling offer, then you don't have to spend the money to do that. You can also do this without confusing your current audience. So you could be in any industry that you're in right now and be able to grow your personal brand into a new field or in the field you're in right now without confusing people, without getting people to be confused and ask themselves, what is this person all about? We're going to avoid this with what you're going to learn today. So tell me, why are you here? I really do want to hear from all of you. If I see that there's been 100 of you who watched this, I want to hear 100 different reasons why you are here. I've had people who want to grow new businesses. I've had people who want to grow their confidence and be able to command the right attention as people who are new in new managerial positions, people in new businesses, people who are opening consulting firms and they have the experience as engineers or as financial consultants and they want to be able to establish the credibility they need to establish. So I want to know from you, why are you here? Why do you want to build your personal brand? Let me know, send me an email or comment down below and let me know why you're here. So I've tried everything to build my personal brand, and this is why I started my personal brand in the first place. The first thing I did was that you cannot achieve something that you cannot define. If you don't have vision, then you don't know where you're going to. If you can't define the type of brand that you want, then you're going to struggle to be able to get to where you want to go with that brand. So you need to be able to define what you want. Secondly, you need to know to speak to the right people. When you don't define your brand, then you don't know who your ideal customers are or your target market is. So you end up speaking to the wrong people. People who aren't actually interested in what you're doing and people who won't benefit you at all. And third, I now know where my value lies. When I started to define my brand, I started to realize where my value lies, what I'm good at. And it saved me time from wasting my time from aligning with things that aren't aligned to my brand or with my goals. So here is a testimonial for one of my clients. She's in the agribusiness, and when she started to build her brand, she didn't want to become popular. She just wanted to become relevant in her industry. She's in the agribusiness, so she wanted to build her brand within her community, locally and internationally. And through building her personal brand and her business brand, she's been able to do exactly that. She's been able to open up doors for herself as an expert in her field, and for her business to go into new business ventures, open up her business strategically, and to be able to benefit herself and her business as well. Now, the best part about defining your personal brand is that you make the rules. Here's what one of our other clients said, is that I'm glad that I went outside of my comfort zone because it helped me to face reality. Now, when you build your personal brand, you start to realize, where does your value lie? And you also start to think to yourself, I could do more to stand out. I could do more to define my brand. I could do more to give value. I could do more to become the best version of myself, to have a good offering, to have a good brand to put out there. And it makes you realize how close or how far you are to those goals. It also makes you realize that what you want is completely possible. You just have to design a plan and make things happen for yourself. So the process is very simple. It's the process that I use. You first start by defining your brand. And when you define your brand, you define your value, your target audience, and your credibility. From there, you start to communicate your brand and you start to build trust and credibility with your target audience, whether it's your boss or your colleagues, future clients, or your online audience. You start to build the trust and the credibility that you need for them to buy into you and what you have to offer them. From then, you start to build your brand story. Now, your brand story is the thing that you'll be able to sell yourself with and to sell your brand. And that is such a key part of being able to go out there and succeed as a brand. From there, you put your brand to work. Now, what do I mean by putting your brand to work? I mean that you start working, you start having brand opportunities, you start speaking at events, you start to do the things that will earn you income and to earn the position and the relevance that you need and to position yourself as a thought leader. Putting your brand to work means that your brand is doing something. There's activities that are out there. So whether it is getting into business ventures, getting job opportunities, doing more presentations, doing more pitches, going to more business meetings, being at the board meetings, getting a seat at the table, whatever it means for your brand to get to work, that's exactly what needs to happen. Once you've built it, it needs to start working. So here's something that Charlotte said. She came to our last session and she says, attending the workshop made me realize that I've been going about building my brand the wrong way. There's so many aspects that I was oblivious to and that needed my attention. And that's what happens a lot of the times. People think that brand building is looking pretty and putting yourself out there and paying for your post to be seen by people. And that's not brand building. You can be passionate about anything you want to be passionate about and turn that into a business or an opportunity for you to earn income. You just have to be able to know how to build your brand and get yourself out there. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. So our agenda today is to first structure your brand. So finding the best structure for your brand and your goals. The second part is to look at the value and your audience. What value do you bring to the table and who do you want to speak to and why do you want to speak to these people? We're then going to look at building credibility. Why are you here and what credibility do you already have and how can you build it moving on from here? So at the end, I've got a very special surprise for you, but you can only know this if you stick to the end of this webinar. You have to get to the end of the webinar because I've got a special gift to give to you. But first, I need you to stick around. Do you promise you're going to stick around? I need you to tell me if you're going to promise to stick around. All right, now that you've had a little moment to think about whether you're going to stick around or not, I've got to introduce you to someone, okay? I'm going to introduce you to Dompi. Dompi is me. When I was growing up, my dad used to call me Dompi. And I had one dream. I wanted to be recognized. I wanted to give value to the world. And I wanted to make sure that when I grow up, I have all the time and the money for my children. And I want to be able to do so, build my dreams, make money, have freedom of time. I don't want anyone to tell me what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. I wanted to have freedom of time, freedom of money, and I wanted to be happy. Those are things that I wanted to achieve for myself as I got older. So as I started to grow up, I started to achieve those dreams. I started to do the things that made me happy, and I started to get the recognition that I wanted to get. I worked very hard for it. So I started to work as I became an adult. I started to work with amazing brands. From 2009 actually was when I first started to work with online marketing and online brands and online businesses. And I traveled the country. Working with amazing brands. I finally got myself my beautiful 2-bedroom apartment with wooden floors and a great kitchen. I knew I made it when I actually could plant herbs and grow them. That's my parsley, my coriander never grew, I'll be very honest with you. But my other herbs started to grow, so I was very happy with those. And then I bought my first car. It was convertible, it was a cute Peugeot, and I was so happy. Working my 9 to 5. And I thought I was on the right track. I was doing what I wanted to do. I was working with amazing brands. I was doing things on social media and in media and marketing, and I thought I was happy, but I wasn't. As I started to accumulate the things that I thought I was supposed to accumulate in my life, right? You're supposed to go to school, get your house, get your car, work your 9 to 5, be successful, right? But I wasn't. At my workplace, I realized that I made no valuable contribution to the place that I was. I could disappear or quit my job and I was replaceable. So I had no real value at that work. I started to realize that my dreams weren't attached to a house and a car. They were attached to so many other things. I realized that the path that I was on was the wrong one. And I started to become very depressed with this. It made me feel very sad because I always believed that I was capable of amazing things, that God had blessed me with talents so that I could achieve amazing things and help people achieve amazing things as well. And the position that I was in, I was settling. I was settling for a 9 to 5 that I thought would get me all the things that, that's what my parents told me I'm supposed to do. Go to school, get a job, get a house, continue to do that until you get old. But the truth is, the paycheck didn't make me happy. The paycheck didn't make me realize my dreams. The paycheck was a symbol of my dreams dying. And the gifts that God had given me, I wasn't living those out. And those made me very depressed. The picture in the bottom right corner is a picture of me when I came back home. And I was so sad. I remember that day I was crying in my car coming back home. And I cried often because I was in the wrong place, doing the wrong things. And all the material things couldn't make up for the pain that I felt because I knew I was living under my potential. And no paycheck could make me happy for that. So something had to change. So I quit my job, I cut my hair, and I started over. I knew that something had to change, but I was so scared. But eventually, I gathered the courage. After 6 months of thinking about it, I gathered up the courage to quit my job. I cut my hair because that's what women do. When we're about to change our lives, we cut our hair. And I started from scratch. Did I know what I was doing? Nope. For 2 whole years, I worked hard. I went broke, but I tried. I was doing what I love, right? I was going to businesses. I was helping them with their social media, with their digital marketing. I was helping them get clients, but it was so difficult. I didn't know what I was doing in terms of building my own business and building my own brand. I was helping clients I was helping my corporate clients and my individual entrepreneurs to get more clients and to build their businesses. But on the other end, I wasn't getting to the goals that I wanted to get to. It was much harder than I thought it was. And it took me 2 whole years to realize that what I actually needed to do was I needed to change something. So in the 3rd year, I started to build my personal brand. And do you know what happened next? Things started to work out for me. I started to build my personal brand. I built my business. I built my YouTube channel. I built my blog, and things picked up. I started to get more clients. I started to do amazing work. I hosted events for my clients that did well for them, that created leads and generated attention for them. I started to get more clients and my clients, my personal branding clients that I helped to build their brands, they started getting noticed too. They got radio and TV interviews. They started to get more attention and they started to do much better. They started to build their personal brands and have success because I started to build my brand and have personal success too. Through building my personal brand, I was able to attract the right clients. I was able to attract the right attention to continue to build my personal brand. And things started to go really well for me. I defined my personal brand and I started to make money and get recognized for the work that I do. I started to do more talks. I got to be on Metro FM twice in 6 months and talking about building online brand and online businesses. I started to event more talks, get more clients, and I started to impact more people. The work that I did was valuable. And you know what? I did it on my own terms. I built my business, the type of business that I wanted. I worked with the type of people that I wanted to work with, and I've got the type of recognition I needed to start earning the income I wanted to earn. And things started to go right for me because I defined my brand. It all starts with defining your brand. So I know what you're going through. I know why you're here. You want to make a change in your life and you want to start making things happen for yourself. And that's why you want to start defining your brand. You want to start to get that promotion that you want to get. You want to start building that business that you deserve for yourself. You want to start getting the customers and the clients that you want. You want to start getting the recognition that you need for the work that you do. And that's why you are here. So defining your brand is a first step that you take towards getting to that place. And I know the pain of knowing that you're not reaching your full potential. You're not where you're supposed to be. You're not using the gifts that God had blessed you with. And now you are here to say to yourself, I want to take the first step to making it happen. I want to start doing things to build my brand, to build the business that I want, to get the recognition, to build my confidence, and to get the promotion I think I deserve. And it starts with defining your brand, defining your value, and building that credibility. So let's not waste any time. I want you to commit to doing this. Let's do this. So what makes a successful personal brand? First thing is that it's easy to read. You know what it is and you know what it is about. It is easy to recognize. It's unique and it stands out from the crowd. Now you can think about people. You can think about Nomzamo. You can think about Khanyi Dlomo. You know what she's about. She's a businesswoman. She has her publishing companies and she's a media mogul. She's easy to recognize. You can see from anything that has to do with Ndalo Media, you start to think about her. Now, she's an entrepreneur. There are women who are employed, who are honest, always speaking at events that have to do with anything in the industry. They are standout brands because you know who they are, what they do, and what they're about. And that's what you need to do. So there are 3 phases to building a successful brand. The first is defining your personal brand and your value. The second phase is defining your brand activities and opportunities. When I speak about brand activities, what are the things that you get up to as a personal brand? So, for example, with my personal brand, I have a business which is CLUBSHEIS, and then I have my personal brand. My personal brand activities are my YouTube channel, are speaking at events as an MC or as a keynote speaker. They are presenting to people who have problems with building their brands or their businesses. Those are personal brand activities. Opportunities are anything that has to do with new business opportunities for me to grow my brand and earn income and be able to make more income or to position myself as an expert or as a thought leader within the industry of personal branding and online business. Then the third part is putting your brand to work. What are the things that make you earn income or increase your position as an expert, as a personal brand? Your brand needs to constantly be working. There's no point in making yourself look pretty or making your brand be seen and then afterwards doing nothing about it. You constantly have to be working at your brand. So here's secret number 1. The structure of your brand is the structure of your money. How you structure your brand is also the same way that your money is going to come into your pocket. So there are 3 ways to structure your brand. The first one is a YouTuber. So for example, a YouTuber, her personal brand, let's just say, is as a natural hair YouTuber, right? She has different offerings. She's able to say that, okay, brands, if you work with me, you can give me money for sponsored videos on my YouTube channel. My second offering is we can partner, collaborate together for Instagram content. Everything she does is orientated around her person, her as an entity, as herself, by herself. She doesn't have a separate business. That's the first structure. So for example, with me, my personal brand has 2 offerings as well. I'm a speaker and an MC for events. That's one offering. And secondly, I create content online. So those are the 2 things I do as a person, right? Now, the second structure is if somebody decides that I want to build my personal brand is also going to have offerings, but I also have a business and my business has its individual offerings. That is where I follow, okay? So as an individual, I have my YouTube channel and I have my speaking engagements which are offerings. But I also have my business, which is CLUBSHEIS. CLUBSHEIS has a membership and it has online trainings. Those 2 things are things that happen from CLUBSHEIS. I don't offer those. CLUBSHEIS offers those things. But at the same time, I have my personal brand. So if you decide that I want to be recognized and I also want to build a business, then this is a good structure for you because you know that there are offerings tied to me as an individual and there are offerings tied to my business that my business does. The nice thing about having this is that you're able to build a business that can stand on its own. But the nice thing is that your personality that you're growing is going to also get attention to your business. Then the third structure is somebody who says, okay, I don't want to have offerings. I don't want to be an MC. I don't want to be a speaker. I don't want to create content. I don't want to do any of those things. I just want to establish myself as somebody who's respected in the industry and I just want my business. So all I'm doing is I'm building my business brand because it has offerings. So my business offers services, let's just say it sells shoes and my business also trains people on how to buy shoes. But me as an individual, I just want to be respected in the industry as a person who has a successful business. That's it. I don't want to build my personal brand. I just want to build my business brand. You need to decide right now, do you want to build a business brand or do you want to build a personal brand? Do you want to build both or do you just want to build one? If you just want to build your business and you don't want to become famous from it or you don't want to become insta famous from it, then you just need to focus on building your business brand. And don't be scared to start from scratch because if you do a good job at building a good business brand, then your business will make it anyway. So you need to decide, do I want to gain recognition and have offerings? Do I want to be on panel discussions? Do I want to be event MCs? Do I want to be involved in those type of things? If you want to do that, then you say you're building a personal brand. But if the only thing that you want to do is gain recognition for your business, then you need to build a business brand. Now, if you are a professional and you are working a full 9 to 5, then all you're doing is you're building your personal brand alone. The offerings that you have is the work that you do. So if you're a business analyst, you're building your brand as a business analyst, right? And that's the only structure that you have. So you're in structure number 1. If you are in an engineer and you're working for an engineering company and you want to build your brand as an engineer and you want to be recognized as an engineer and a thought leader and an expert in the field of being an engineer, then you say, okay, I'm building my brand as an engineer. So I'm going to define who I am, what value I have, and what credibility I have as an engineer. All right. So decide which structure do you want, 1, 2, or 3. If you're confused about that, definitely pop me your inbox. We'll chat. So now that you know what structure it is that you're going for, you know what you want out of your personal brand. No more confusion. It's just one way to success, honey. That's what you want. You want to be able to say, this is how my personal brand works. I'm a personal brand by myself, or I'm a personal brand with a business, or I'm just focused on my business. It's either structure number 1, 2, or 3. Is it just me, or is it me and my business? And I also want to become recognized, or is it just my business? I don't need the recognition. Decide 1, 2, or 3. All right, now it's time for us to focus on brand value. Now, when we're looking at brand value, you need to think to yourself, what do I bring to the table? All right, you need to think to yourself, all right, what do I bring to the table? If you're just bringing pretty looks and pretty pictures, then the world is going to find a way to replace you that fast. You need to decide and you need to realize, in this office space, what value do I bring other than being good at administration? What value do I bring to the table? What unique expertise do I bring to the table? What unique opinion, what unique perspective, what unique offering do I bring to the table? You can't just decide that I'm a blogger and that's it. No. What value do you bring to the table? Now you're probably wondering, okay, how is this going to work? Let's take a step back and redefine what a personal brand is. A personal brand is a person who positions herself as a brand that is linked to a product, a service, information, or opinion which is of value to someone or a group of people. Let's break this down. If you are a personal brand who has products, that means you have merchandise, physical merchandise. This can be books, bottles, shoes, bags, cars, whatever it is, something that you can touch, feel, taste, whatever it is. What does your personal brand have? Now, when I think about taste, I think about chefs. Chefs have products. Their product is a service. Products and services, food, service, cooking, right? That's what they have. Now, if you have a service, this is expertise, right? So what unique expertise do you have? Do you have unique problem-solving skills? Can you create content? Are you consulting? Are you entertaining? What services do you have? So, for example, I can imagine people who say, okay, I want to be a beauty blogger, but what unique services or what unique products do I bring to the table? You can say to yourself, I know a girl who focuses on the on women with dark skin, for example, and she specifically focuses on women with dark skin who want affordable products for their specific dark skin. That is unique and that is valuable. You need to be able to say, what value do I bring to the table? Because right now the market is filled with a lot of people trying to do the same thing that you're doing. But if you're able to say, this is the unique service or the unique product that I bring to the table, that's when you're able to stand out. Information. Now, information is usually the biggest part or one of the biggest ways to differentiate yourself according to value. If you're able to teach people something, if you have unique IP, unique intellectual property, information products such as books, ebooks, courses, instructional modules, anything where you're able to teach people. What you're consuming right now is an information product. If I was to sell this to you, this would be an information product. But it's because I put my expertise into paper, pen and paper, or into a presentation, I'm serving it to you. So this, my unique perspective is the way that I teach people. That is what is the unique value that I have. So other than teaching you about personal personal branding. This is the way that I'm bringing it to you through online, broken down step-by-step resources and tools. That is how I am giving you value. Then also there's opinion. If you have valuable, thought out, informed opinions on a specific topic, then that is also valuable. So here's a question that I usually get. What if you don't know what value your personal brand brings? Look, there's a lot of us out here trying to do the same thing. The world is filled with people who want to do something and become something. And the brands that last and stand out are the ones that are able to provide value. So I want you to sit, take a day, take 3 days if you have to, and think about the value that you bring to the table. What value do you bring to the table? What product, service, information, or opinion can you provide people along with whatever it is that you're trying to offer to them? Here's secret number 2. Ask yourself or ask your audience, what do you need or want to know? Now, if you're in a specific industry, ask aligned to that industry. Don't just ask it as a general question. So if you are a financial consultant, ask people, what do you need to know? And people might tell you, I need things to be made simple for me. So if you are able to say, I give information on financial products and I make it simple. So the value that you bring is simplicity. If you're able to do that, you bring something valuable to the table. Once you find out what that valuable thing is, then give the people what they want. All right, so what ideas do you have to provide value to your target audience? I want you to let me know. Leave me a comment, leave me an email. Let's get talking, because the further this conversation gets, once you start to engage and once you start to commit to engaging with me and with everyone who's part of the club, then what will happen is that you will also be pushed or motivated to take action on the information you're receiving today. So the third and final part of defining your brand is credibility. So credibility has 3 levels, right? The first level is what you say about yourself. So I meet you and I tell you that I'm a very good business strategist. And I can tell you everything that I know and the things that I can do, right? That's one level of credibility, but it's also the lowest level of credibility. But if I am able to show you evidence of the past experience that I've had, right? So I can show you the businesses that I've transformed, and I can show you evidence of the businesses that I've transformed, then you start to trust me a bit more. But now that's the second level of credibility. Now the third level of credibility is if I am now able to show you evidence of what other people say about me, then your credibility goes to an all-time high. And this is the third level of credibility. Now, people probably in the professional arena are thinking about a CV. You need to get a CV out of your mind because it's the most oldest, outdated form of credibility that you can ever get. These days, people communicate physically, online, and offline. You need to be able to show all 3 levels of this credibility wherever you go. Now, if you're thinking about LinkedIn, if you are able to show people on social media what you say about yourself, if you're able to show your past experiences, pictures of you and previous clients, pictures of you in boardrooms, pictures of you working at certain places, that's credibility. But once you are able to quote what other people say about you and the work that you have done and share that on social media, on emails, on blogs, on anything, on your websites, that's another level of credibility. So get your mind out of the CV because it's outdated and stop it. It's terrible. And start thinking about how can I show all 3 levels of this credibility in every single part of my brand communication. So how does your personal brand communicate with people? And ask yourself, how can I get all 3 levels of this credibility onto all of those platforms? Okay, so here's 3 questions that you can ask yourself. Number 1, why do I like this? What deep-seated desire or personal experiences link me to this goal? So what personal brand are you building and why are you building it? 2, what have I done in the past? Find evidence to show that you are connected to value and what you provide. So if you're a makeup artist and you decide, okay, I need to show past experiences that I've had. So these are pictures of people's faces that I've done and how the faces and the before and afters have come out. Then can you get endorsements? Can people actually write that, oh my word, when I went to go see this person, she treated me very well, her makeup brushes were clean, and the job that she did was very good. Now that's another level of credibility. It goes beyond before and afters, and it shows people evidence of other people saying that you are awesome, you are as good as you say you are. This all leads to something that we call a brand story. Your brand story is a mission or statement, is short summary of who you are and what you do. It essentially packages and presents your skills, values, experiences, and strengths in one sentence. It defines you, your unique proposition, and what makes you valuable and stand out from the crowd. Now, I'm going to tell you something about a brand story. Here's a secret to a brand story. A successful brand story is short and sweet. It's 10 seconds long. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, how am I going to tell people what I do, who I do it for, my credibility, and what my value is in 10 seconds, right? I know it's a lot of work, but it's very possible. But once you say your brand story, this 10-second little thing, once you say it, it will leave people begging for more. And you know it's successful when that happens, when you tell people what you do, and then they just want to know more. So I want to tell you a story about my brand story, okay? Here's my brand story, my 10-second little pitch to you. I teach digital skills to people who build their brands so that they can master the ability to use their brands to gain more customers and build their businesses, right? So I teach digital skills to people who want to build their brands and master the ability to use their brands to gain more customers and build their businesses. Once upon a time, I was at a wedding expo. And I wanted to see the owner of the wedding expo because I wanted to film the wedding expo for my YouTube channel. And I told her what I do for a living. And as I was saying this, I was in a room filled with people who are exhibitionists. So individual vendors who own their own wedding supply companies. So deco people, gift people, venues, people who supply flowers, photographers, all those type of people. And everybody overheard me say what I do, my brand story. I teach people digital skills. I teach digital skills to people who want to build their brands, to master the ability to use their brands, to gain credibility, to gain customers and build their businesses, right? And I swear to you that as soon as I said this, the whole room, every single exhibitioner walked up to me and gave me their business card and asked me to contact them because they need my services. That's exactly what your brand story will do. When you repeat your brand story to the relevant people, then they'll want to do business with you. They'll want to work with you because they know what you do, who you do it for, how you do it, and what the benefit of that thing is, okay? What I want you to do to put this all together is that I want you to download the Define Your Brand workbook. Go through each question, answer each question, and then write out your brand story. It will help you get to that point. Now I tell you right now, honey, when I said this, I teach digital skills to people who want to master the ability to use their brand to build their businesses. Yo, I felt like Beyonce. I felt like Beyonce just stepped in the room and I was her. I had all the attention I needed to get. And the truth is, every single person that gave me their business card was a client, was a potential client. They were aligned to my target audience. If you have your brand story right, then you won't have some random man who doesn't need your services asking you for your services. No, you'll have the exact target audience contact you because you've got your brand story right. And yes, honey, you will feel like Beyonce. Don't you want to feel like Beyonce? I want to feel like Beyonce. I want to feel like Beyonce all the time. So when I say my brand story, I know that I'm going to get the right attention from the right people to do the right things. And that is the power of a defined brand. That is the power of a defined personal brand. You are able to say what you do, how you do it, who you do it for, and what value you bring and the benefits that you bring. And you will have the attention of the right people. Now imagine if you have 100 followers and all 100 followers knew exactly what you do, how you do it, who you do it for, what value you bring, and the benefits that come from it, then all 100 people will want to work with you. If you don't have the right attention, it just shows that your brand is not on target. It's off target. You need to align it. You need to define your brand much better than what you've been doing right now. So here's some testimonials from people that I've worked with, people who've started businesses, and because they've been able to define their brand, they're busy. People who are able to communicate their brand to people and grow by 100 followers a day. People who are able to define their brand and be able to get rid of the people who aren't aligned with their brand and attract the people who are aligned with their brand. People who are able to say, I don't have to become famous to get business. All I have to do is be relevant. I don't have to attract followers. I just attract business. That's what you want, right? You don't want to be popular. You want to be profitable, right? So there is power in defining what you want. Once you start working towards what you want will start working towards you, okay? So using these 3 secrets, defining your brand, defining your value, and defining your credibility, you start communicating to the right people, and then that's how you win. Now know what you're starting to think to yourself. How do I go about this? Now that I have my personal brand, what's the whole formula? How do I go about having my successful personal brand? Now there are 2 paths that you can take to get to the point where you want to get, where you've communicated to the right people, and now you are able to attract the right people that you want to attract. You've communicated to your target audience, and now you need to start putting your brand to work. How do you go about this? Okay, so the first path that you can take is that you can do it by yourself. You can say, okay, I'm growing this on my own. Then you'll need to figure out how to connect your brand to tangible value, which tools and techniques that you need to get the best results. You'll need to also find out what to do to grow your audience and find supporters. You'll have to find out how to book jobs and earn income. Next, you'll have to find out how to turn likes and followers into income, and then you'll have to learn how to turn your brand into a business. And those are some of the things that you have to think about moving from this point where you've defined your brand to now building a successful personal brand. Now here's the problem, is that this comes with a real cost when you decide to do it alone. You spend weeks and months of your energy trying to make this happen. You run the risk of making embarrassing mistakes, which is what I did in the first 3 years actually. Then you need time away from getting what you want. There's an opportunity cost that comes along with taking 3 years to figure out something that could actually take you 3 months. You lose momentum because you constantly have to motivate yourself to keep getting up and keep trying. And the most important thing is that you waste time on things that aren't important. The second path that you can take through the entire process is to join us on the online bootcamp. Now, this online personal brand building bootcamp, we're going to take you through all 3 phases. We're going to make sure that the brand that you've defined is a good brand and that it has value. Take you through the second one, which is developing the brand activities and your brand opportunities. So right now you're thinking to yourself, what should my brand do? How should it do it? And when should it do it in order to get the opportunities at once? We're going to go through exactly that. We're going to show you how you can get your clients, how you can get the attention of the target audience that you want to get. You're going to go through all the opportunities that you want and how you can practically go about opening those doors for yourself. Then we're going to look at how can you start putting your brand to work and generating that income. And the most important thing about this whole process is that you leave with a 90-day action plan to building your personal brand that gets to work and earns income. So successful people know that they have to work smart and take action to get to their goals. And that's why I'm introducing you to the step-by-step online guide to building a personal brand that works. This is the Personal Branding Bootcamp. I love this and I'm so excited about it, and it's going up this week. It's going to be right here on the She Is member zone. I love it. It's so amazing. I'm stuttering. But let's take a look inside the course and see what happens. So the first module is all about defining what a successful brand is. We're going to look at a personal brand, the process, and how to turn your brand into a success. We're going to be looking at learning the difference between a strong brand and a weak brand, so you know that you're building a strong brand and not a weak one, and establishing what makes a brand successful. You need to know what you're working towards when you build your personal brand. The second module is all about your personal brand and money. Now we get to the money quick because I know money is a huge problem, or it's a huge priority for a lot of people. So we need to identify right from the beginning, what are your expectations with money, and how do you plan to connect your brand to money? Now, we're going to look at building your brand value, the business models that you can use for building your personal brand. We're going to look at linking your brand to money and how you can make money from your personal brand. The third module that we're going to look at is why you want to do this and setting brand goals. It's important to know why you want to do it, because once you know why you want to build your personal brand, we're then going to be able to keep you from failing. We're going to look at why brands fail. This is a huge one. There's a lot of personal brands that fail, but we don't want yours to fail. So we're going to look at how we can avoid that. You're going to learn the one question that will keep you from quitting. It's a huge, important question, and you need to be able to answer that question in order to keep yourself from quitting every single day. You're going to find out how you can get the support and direction you need to build your brand. And then we're going to break down your brand goals into actionable steps. That's what we want. We want to take action, right? So this whole bootcamp is about getting down to action. What actionable steps am I going to take? When am I going to post? Who am I going to email? Who am I going to call? Why am I going to call them? What am I going to say? All of those things we're going to look at in this bootcamp. The fourth module is building brand activities. We're going to identify brand opportunities. We're going to look at how you can put your brand to work. We're going to look at how to continue building your brand. And then most importantly, what practical steps can you do to build your personal brand? The fifth module is the digital communication strategy. This is a big one. We're going to look at growth tactics, which is a huge thing that people want to know. How can I use the digital world to position myself as an expert, to gain more confidence, to gain more following, to gain the opportunities that I need to gain? There's no use being online and building a brand if you're not going to benefit from it. So we're going to look at how to become relevant to the right people, how to grow your online audience, how to communicate your brand online, and building a strong brand. Now, one of my clients, I started working with her last year, and when she quit her job the first month, she made 10,000 Rand. She followed all of my instructions, and she put in the work and stayed consistent. Within 4 months, she earned 50,000 Rand, and that was her goal. But within 10 months, she earned over 100,000 Rand. She's got a 6-figure business right now because she's got her brand outlined, and she's turned her brand into a business, and it's continuing to work for her. So here's a question I usually get. I don't have a following, so how do you do this without a following? A bonus that you get for being part of the bootcamp is you'll get access to the social media 101 members training. Now you'll get access to this. You'll get lifetime access to it. You don't have to pay for it. You always have access to it. And you'll be able to say, okay, how do I use social media to run my business? And how do I use social media to grow my brand? Now, can you connect with me and other people who are building their brands too from this? Yes, you can. You'll be part of the club. There are a group of amazing women who are all working towards building their brands, building the life that they desire, and they're part of the club. When you get onto this 90-day course, you'll be put into an accountability group. What this means is that you'll be connected with other people who are building their brands in a community, and you'll be able to work together to keep each other accountable, exchange ideas for working on what you're working through, and you'll get support from people within the CLUBSHEIS team as well. Now, this is everything that you get if you enroll today. You get instant access to all bootcamp sessions and recordings. You'll have 5 fill-in-the-blank fast action guides. Now, these are workbooks that you can fill in and you'll be able to get into them. We'll have 100% online, so you will be able to access it from your cell phone, from your tablet, or from your computer. You'll have videos and slideshows as well, which you can download. You'll have email support. We're all here to support you via email, so email us and we'll get back to you. You'll also have access to the private community that's on Slack, and you'll be able to contact us anytime to be able to chat to us about the problems that you have or the support that you need to get forward. But wait, I'm not done yet. I want to make sure that this is a no-brainer, that you are just like, listen, this is an actionable guide. Why would I not take this? You get a 90-day plan. It's a full workbook that I'm going to be giving you. It's a diary, a full journal that you can use to take down the steps that you need to take every single week in order to achieve the things that you want to achieve. So month by month, you'll be able to write down and say, these are the things that I want to achieve, and this is how I'm going to achieve them, and then go about doing that. You'll leave with a full 90-day action plan so that you'll be able to know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it to build your brand. So the second bonus is that you'll have monthly coaching calls with me for the next 3 months. So one-on-one, I'll give you a call, video call, and we'll chat face-to-face online about what you're doing, how you're doing it, and how I can help you to build your brand. Now, this is a huge one for me. There's no risk. If you go through this and you complete the course and implement the 90-day plan and you're unsatisfied, just email me your results. And if I can't help you to build the brand that you want, I will give you 100% refund for your investment. Yep, I'll do it. Now, everything that you get when you enroll today, you get instant access to the bootcamp sessions, which are to the value of 1,500 Rand. Now, people who came through to the bootcamp, my clients who go through this, pay 1,500 Rand for this, for one-on-one sessions. And they pay way more than 1,500 Rand. You'll have action guides for each module, which cost 500 Rand each. They have this value of 1,500 Rand each. The action plan is to the value of 1,500 Rand as well. You'll have online coaching, which is 1,350 Rand over the 3 months. And you have 1 month access to the membership, which is 450 Rand. The total value of this is 5,300 Rand. But if you were to go online and you were to pay for this right now, you'd pay 1,000 Rand. But because you are here in this masterclass, I'm giving you a special deal. I'm gifting you with 50% off the price if you enroll and sign up for this masterclass today. So if you enroll to build your brand through this bootcamp, you won't pay 1,000 Rand. No, because you are here today, you will pay only 500 Rand. I'll give you 50% off. So go to www.clubsheis.com/personal brand and use the coupon code SAVE100 when you check out. And I will give you 500 Rand off. You'll get all of this. You'll get access to the whole bootcamp with all of the benefits for 500 Rand. So you can go and you'll be able to get this for 500 Rand. All you have to do is go to clubsheis.com/personal brand, use the code SAVE500 when you check out, and I will give you 500 Rand off. You don't have to pay 1,000 Rand. All you have to pay is 500 Rand. Now, you have learned a lot, and there's a lot that we went through. And I want you to be able to implement every single thing that we spoke about. I want you to define your brand first before you do anything else. That is your first point of call. Now, I am always available for you to ask me questions. So go ahead to Instagram, contact us at CLUBSHEIS, or email me, kopano@clubsheis.com, and I will answer the questions that you have. Remember, there is that special where you pay 500 Rand for the personal brand building bootcamp. So go over to clubsheis.com/personal brand to take up that offer. Now, I hope you enjoy this. I hope this is going to give you so much value. Don't forget to download the workbook and go through it. We're here for you and we love you, and I hope to see you on the other side of this year, having built your brand, having built the life that you want to live, and being happy. That's all from me. If you need me, you know where to find me. Catch you in the Q&A session.